Good morning, everybody. My name is Oliver Joyce, and I am the developer of Swords and Sandals Spartacus. And it's been quite a while since the last video, probably a month. And if you watch the last few, you'll see that after every video, I've said it's been quite a while. And the reason is, in this last few months, it's been crunch mode in the game. It's been just hectic trying to get this game released by Christmas. Originally, I'd set a deadline for the game to be around March of next year, but after discussing with my publisher and business partner at eGames, we both decided that let's get this out by Christmas and get started on the next Sword and Sandals as quickly as possible, which meant I really had to just put the pedal to the metal and start smashing out the game. And so there hasn't been a lot of time for these videos. And maybe somewhat disappointingly to many people, this last developer video is going to show no game footage. So it's not the most exciting video for those who are more technically minded. And I do apologize for that. And for the sort of infrequency of the developer videos towards the end of the project. I know I started off doing one every week or two, but towards the end I just had to scramble, and I've really just been smashing out this game so fast. It's one of the fastest productions I've done in the last couple of months. So where are we with the game? Well, it turns out we are 4 days from release. I'm planning to launch the game on Saturday, December the 21st, 2019 on Steam, and it'll be coming out on PC and Mac at first. In the coming months, January through March or so, we plan on porting this game to mobile if possible. I haven't actually tested it on mobile phones, so I don't know how well it's going to work. If it doesn't run well, we'll probably scrap those plans. But if it's possible, we would like to bring a version to mobile as well. The original plan was to make this game available on Switch, Nintendo Switch. But as of today, it's not happening. And unfortunately, the reason for that is Nintendo have declined my application. I'm registered as a Nintendo developer, but they've only allowed me to develop for Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DX, which are devices that are pretty old and not something I'm interested in making anything for. The real money and the real interest is in Nintendo Switch. And so I'm imagining they've had a lot more interest than they requested. So disappointingly, I really wanted this game to come out on Switch. It's not the end of things. I'm actually going to apply again to see if I can develop this game for Switch in the coming weeks. Once the game is launched on Steam, I'll submit another application and see how we go. Hopefully we can get there, because I really think this is the perfect kind of game for that platform. The game is ready to go. It's pretty much complete. I'm just doing a few bits of level tweaking and last minute bug fixing this week. There are at present 44 levels in the game, so it's a pretty big game. I've been playing through it the last few days, and I'm up to about an hour and a half in playthrough, and I'm not quite finished the first half of the game. And so I'm imagining for the average player, you're looking 3 to 4 hours, maybe longer if you get stuck on a level. There are certain levels that are very challenging, and if you play this game not using the casual mode, the unlimited lives mode, you'll probably find the game is immensely challenging. It does really ramp up in difficulty in the second half of the game. And I try to bring the player along slowly and test and show them all the different mechanisms and little, intricacies of the way the game plays. And by the time you get to the second half of the game, you should be well versed in all the traps and so on. Having said that, I am yet to finish the game in hard mode in the second half of the game. So I'll let you know how that goes, because I don't actually know how long the game is yet. And that's what I'm doing this week, is playing through the whole game, iterating through it, making sure all the levels play well, and making sure the game's finishable. Because I've been playing through each level individually, but as a complete set, we haven't had that happen. One of the biggest changes since the last video, I may have shown you the upgrades that you would get at the end of each level. They're now to do with the treasure you get. So the more treasure you find in a level, the more upgrades you can have. So you can actually have multiple upgrades in one level early on, but then towards the end of the game, you need more treasure to get to upgrade your sword and your shield and that kind of thing. So it gets harder. So you really have to spend your upgrades wisely early on and choose what sort of warrior you want to be. The other interesting thing is I now have shields that are automatic. Earlier on, the game would allow you to press block to use your shield. But I found that not only myself, but other testers of the game just weren't doing that. They kind of forgot the block button was there, and it was just a little too one extra mechanism that wasn't really effective in the way that I thought it was going to be. So what I ended up doing was make blocks automatic. And how that works is you run up to an enemy, and then if they hit you, Spartacus will automatically raise his shield and block the attack. And same with projectile weapons, except for boss projectile weapons, which are too strong for you to defend. But when you get hit by a projectile like a dart or a fireball or something, what will happen is he'll block it, and then you'll lose one shield. And you start off with like 4 shield points or something like that, and you can upgrade your shield at the end of each level by spending treasure. When your shield breaks, bam, explosion, it's gone for the rest of the level, and then you can take damage. You naturally will take damage from spike traps and razor doors and, chain ball traps and all the kind of natural hazards of a level. But from enemies themselves, the shield is a great buffer. And I found that is a really interesting mechanic, I keep calling it mechanism, in terms of making the gameplay feel a little bit more streamlined and nuanced, and not making sort of player has to worry so much about what they're doing and what buttons they're pressing. So that's a huge addition. All the bosses are in the game now. There's been a lot done since. You probably wouldn't even recognize the game since the last update. And I'm not going to show you it today because I want it to be a surprise here. And there will be a video reveal for the game on YouTube in about 4 days' time. If you go on my channel, you can actually see the countdown clock ticking, so you can see the full video trailer. As always, if you're interested in this game, it will be out on December 21st, and you can wishlist it. By wishlisting the game, it really helps me sort of rise up in the rankings of new and noteworthy games on Steam. And that first week is really important in terms of building up an audience and just spreading the game to a wider audience than just regular Sword and Sandals fans. Not that you guys are regular at all. You guys are amazing. You guys are the best fans ever. But I would really like to spread this game to a non-Sword and Sandals audience as well. Audiences that like, classic retro games and platformers and arcade games, that sort of thing. I don't know how this game's going to do. I really don't. For me, it feels like the most polished game I've ever made, the most professional game I've ever made, but quite different to the Sword and Sandals games. And it was one of those things that I sort of hesitated on a lot, whether I should name the game Swords and Sandals or not. I had a lot of discussions with my business partner about this, and we decided that it was similar enough to bring it in. It's a gladiator. Spartacus is the most famous gladiator of all time, and there are some connections to the Swords and Sandals universe in terms of a cameo or two, and the classic theme song is there. So look, this is officially part of the Sword and Sandals franchise, even though it's quite a different game. Speaking of the franchise, once this game is out, I'll be doing some bug fixing and patching and level balancing as feedback comes in. But I'm going to take a break for a few weeks and play some games over the Christmas holidays. And I hope you also take a break. And it's been a long year for many of us, very busy, and whatever's been going on in your world, I hope it's been a good year. My little boy Isaac is nearly 2, so I've been very, have my hands full with him all year, and he's been a blessing and a delight. And my wife and I couldn't be happier. It has made game dev pretty challenging, but I've been able to build this game this year. I started in February, and it's taken me to December, but that's been mainly 2 full-time days a week and then a little bit at night. So I'm pretty happy with how quick I was able to get the game built. After the break, I'm actually starting on Sword and Sandals Crusader Redux, which is a small project that I plan on just bringing Crusader up into the modern game engines that I've been using for the other games, which means it'll be available on mobile phones, Android and iOS, and of course Steam. And it's using the Sword and Sandals Pirates engine, because that game pretty much was Sword and Sandals Crusaders at Sea. And I really should have just called it that, because those two games are quite similar. This will be Sword and Sandals Crusader with the overland map and the missions and everything that you know, with a few of the goodies from Pirates, a few of the extras. I haven't worked out exactly what I want from it yet, but that project I'm planning on starting in late January and probably finishing up in about April. And come April as well, that's when Sword and Sandals 6 will be starting. That's the big one. That's the make or break of the franchise, and that game is going to take me at least 18 months to 2 years. So you'll be hearing a lot from me in that time, and I really want to get the fans of the Sword and Sandals series involved in the making of that, and I've already started that by chatting to people on Discord and getting ideas for arena champions and so on. And you can back me on Patreon if you're interested in the future of the series. I don't expect you to, but if you wish to, I appreciate all my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. I guess this message is basically a thank you to everyone for your support this year and for supporting me through the development of Spartacus. I will be doing one more video at the end of this year, which will be a Games Gladiator video where we're going to play through Spartacus. And I'll have a chat to you a bit more then about the series in general. And I'll be interested in your thoughts. So let's leave this video here. 4 days time till Spartacus launches on 21st of December. Please wishlist the game if you're interested. I really do appreciate it. And I think you will enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun to play. I've been playing this game for months and months and months, testing it. And I still enjoy it. So I think that is a good sign. Anyway, my friends, it's been a great year, and I've been very fortunate to have you aboard. And I look forward to showing you Swords and Sandals Spartacus in about a week's time or less. All right, bye for now.